Hey guys, Nick Jones here, and it is time for another episode of PB at Night. Of course, we do this show every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, live.pbcasttv.com. In this episode of PB at Night, episode 36 for Monday. Once again, it's Pi Day. If you guys are watching this, we do two shows on Pi Day. 314.11, whatever, which is not Pi. Anyway, we talk about all about bracketology. If I reach over here to my right, I've got my bracket filled out, and today on PB at Night, we're going to talk about the East bracket and the West bracket. We're going to break it down, show you my picks, and some other cool stuff. And Jacob's in here posting all of the digits to pi, which of course you can't calculate, or it has not been calculated yet. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining us, and thanks for watching. PB at Night is next. Hello and welcome into PB at Night. This is episode 36 for Monday, March 14th, 2011. And if you know anything about March, that means it's March Madness, which means, yeah, we're going to be picking my picks, at least for March Madness, the tournament, the NCAA tournament bracket, and, yeah, if you have, we're going off the NCAA, or the, I can't talk. If we're going off the ESPN Tournament Challenge bracket, also it's called the ESPN U bracket, whatever you're going off, and it should be the left-hand side. If you're, I think most of them are the same. It should be the left-hand side of your bracket. So we're going to be breaking down the East, which is in Newark, and the West, which is in Anaheim. It's weird. I have my window open, so there's a lot of things going by. Anyway, so let's go ahead and jump in. There's a couple play-in games in the. There's there's two play-in games in the East. Be Ohio State and UT San Antonio and Alabama State. Yeah. So first off, 1 and 16 seed, you've got Ohio State standing at 32-2, and the winner of UT San Antonio and Alabama State. I've seen a couple Alabama State games, so I'm going to go with Alabama State to get the 16 seed, and then, of course, I've got Ohio State coming with that one. So, Ohio State coming through the second round, which is in Cleveland, I think, yeah. Then you've got George Mason and Villanova, the 8 and 9 seeds here. Can I zoom in anymore? Let me see. Yeah, there we go. So I know this might be a boring show, but I'm just going to kind of read mine out. We've got George Mason, 26-6, and Villanova, the 9 seed, 21-11. I'm going to go with George Mason here. Kind of, I don't know, I'm just interested in what George Mason is doing, and honestly, Villanova they've had a really down year. I think really the only reason they got in is because what they did in the... Yeah, you didn't know that was my mom? I told y'all it was my mom. No, it was actually my mom, trust me. Anyway, we're talking live.pbcasttv.com if you want to join us in the chat room. Anyway, the next game here is West Virginia at 5 seed versus the UAB Clemson winner. I've actually been to a UAB game or two, and I watched the UAB play this year. UAB is not what I would call a powerhouse. But I'm going to go with UAB with the upset on Clemson. I guess you could call it an upset. They're both 12 seeds. That's another play-in game. Since they extended the tournament to 68 teams, you now have 4 play-in games now, so instead of 2. So anyway, I'm going with UAB versus West Virginia on that 5-12 in the East bracket, and West Virginia coming through in that game as well. Kentucky-Princeton. That's a 4-13 matchup. I'm going with Kentucky, Xavier, and Marquette. I'm going with a upset here with Marquette in that one. Xavier didn't do too well in their conference tournament, and I wasn't very, very impressed by what they were doing. So I've got Xavier, and I'll put my picks, I'll try to anyway, I'll scan them in or something. I'll put my picks on the website so you can get them as well. So that way you will be able to download these. And, yeah. Would you stop? Oh, jeez. Alright. And then...
I was talking about me.
What? Alright. Anyway. I think I'm just going to leave that in there just for perks. Anyway. Where was I? Oh, I'm going with the Marquette upset over Xavier in the 11-6 seed. Oh, the times to have the desktop on instead of my face. Anyway, Syracuse, Indiana State. I'm going with Syracuse. Washington, Georgia. I'm going with Washington, the 7th seed over Georgia, even though I think, yeah, anyway, Georgia, don't really think they should have got in. North Carolina, the 2 seed, over, who is that? LIU, maybe? I don't even know who that is. At 15 seed, I'm going with UNC there as well. So, now going to the west side. West side, I know this is boring, but I just thought it'd be a good show. Duke, I'm going with Duke over Hampton, the number 1 seed. You've got Michigan and Tennessee. I'm going with Tennessee over the 8 seed. Not really an upset there. Tennessee's 19-14. I think they might be able to get it together. Arizona and Memphis, I'm going with Arizona. Texas, Oakland, I'm going with Texas on that game. Cincinnati and Missouri. Thought about going with an upset over Cincinnati, but didn't. So I've got Cincinnati coming out there. And then again, this will all of these will be on pbcasttv.com. At least my picks for this, if you need them or care to look at them. Anyway, where was I? Connecticut. I've got UConn over Bucknell, and Temple winning that game against Penn State, and then San Diego State over Northern Colorado, I guess. Yeah. All right, going back up to the top. I know this is going to be really boring. I probably should have just scanned mine in, but anyway. So going back up to the top, the East, I've got Ohio State versus George Mason. Ohio State with a win there. West Virginia, which would a 5 seed over with Kentucky, who's a 4 seed. I'm going with the 4 seed Kentucky in that game. Marquette and Syracuse, like I said, I picked Marquette over Xavier. I'm going with Syracuse in the win versus that one. I went with the Washington over Georgia, so now we've got Washington and North Carolina. I went with an upset here just because I thought it might be, I don't know. I just thought I needed an upset here. I really don't like North Carolina's chances in the tournament. I just think they're a little too young. So I've got Washington over North Carolina in what I guess would be the 3rd round instead of the 2nd round now because there's a play-in game. But anyway, Washington over North Carolina. Then you got Duke. I've got a Duke-Tennessee matchup. I think I'm going to go with Duke over Tennessee. That might be an interesting game. I think Duke will be recovered by then. So then you've got Arizona and Texas. I've got Arizona a 5 seed over Texas a 4. I think Texas kind of coming off a bad loss to Kansas in the Big 12 championship. So went with Texas there. Cincinnati, UConn. Got UConn over them, and Temple. San Diego State. I'm kind of interested to see how San Diego State fares in the tournament because they've been playing like BYU is their only good opponent that they've actually played. But I'm going with San Diego State over Temple. So then you work your way back up. You've got Ohio State, Kentucky, which would be, this is the Sweet 16 on the east and west side. You've got Ohio State, Kentucky, Syracuse, Washington, Duke, Arizona, UConn, San Diego State. So in Ohio State and Kentucky, I went Ohio State, Syracuse, and Washington. Interesting matchup. I think this would be a good matchup if we did see it. I'm kind of a Washington fan. Going with Washington here. I think it's going to be a close game, but I couldn't go against Syracuse, so Syracuse making it into the Elite 8. And then you've got Duke and Arizona. I'm going with Duke on that one, and UConn, San Diego State. Once again, I think is an interesting game. If UConn or if San Diego State is really what they are, if they're really deserving of are they a 3rd? No, they're a 2 seed. If they're really deserving of that 2 seed, I think they could do some damage. But I'm going with UConn over them. Kind of interesting. I got a 6 seed in the Elite 8. Then you work your way through the Elite 8. You've got Ohio State and Syracuse, and Duke and UConn. pretty 4 big schools on the east and west side. I've got that. What would that be? That's a 1-3 matchup, and then a 1-6 matchup, right? No. Oh, my bad. UConn's a 3 seed. So I've got a 2 1-3 matchups, right? Yeah, 2 1-3 matchups in the Elite Eight. So I'm going to go with Ohio State over Syracuse. Once again, I think Syracuse, if they get it going, they should be pretty good. And then I've got Duke, UConn. I've got UConn pulling away over Duke because I don't like Duke's chances of repeating in the national championship. So I kind of knocked them out right before the Final Four. I don't really know why I did that. I just kind of went with UConn, hoping that UConn can pull it out. And then you've got Ohio State and UConn, and I'm going with Ohio State, the number 1 seed in the East, to make it to the tournament championship. Lady Bryn, how are you? Anyway, I know that's pretty boring show, but when we get this up, pbcasttv.com, you will be able to check out my bracket. I'm going to scan it in or Photoshop it or something, because they do release it as a PDF, so you can't actually edit it. But anyway, I'm going to be releasing this. If you're watching this on pbcasttv.com, there should be a post above or a post below or something where you can check this out. And if not, if you're on YouTube, head over to pbcasttv.com, or I'll probably put a link in the description. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching this. Tomorrow on PB at Night, because we do this show at 7 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we will detail the Southwest and the Southeast right there, which would be the right side of your bracket if you have the ESPNU version. And, yeah, I'm probably going to be doing a couple other brackets. I've got 2 other printed out here, just for fun, because I like doing these things for fun. But anyway, guys, thanks for joining us, and hey, if you're watching on pbcasttv.com or on YouTube, I'd love to hear your brackets, so if you want to post them or something, I thought about doing a tournament challenge on our website, but I was kind of looking into that. We might do that later. Anyway, might also, once they release the NIT, the full NIT bracket, we might go over the NIT bracket as well. But anyway, guys, thank you for joining us tonight on PB at Night. Make sure to follow pbcasttv on Twitter, twitter.com/pbcasttv. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/ThatNickJones, and you can follow Jacob on Twitter, who helped me co-host. He's on PB at Night some. He's also on Tech Weekly and Gadget Gurus pretty often as well. But guys, thank you for joining us, and make sure to check us out, pbcasttv.com, live.pbcasttv.com, 24/7 streaming video, and 24/7 chat room as well. Sometimes there's nobody in there, but if there is, you can chat us up. So guys, thanks for watching, and until next episode, which will be tomorrow, hopefully, I'm Nick Jones. Peace. See you guys.